This is Why Voodoo is Real by Tessa Wrecked. Viejo San Juan, 1931. It is the late morning now. The air is thick and sweet like the slice of Mallorca I cut for Mama Fanny. Downstairs, the house smells like hibiscus and my sweet plantains baking in the oven. Fanny is still in her room. She hasn't touched the tray of coffee and the slice of Mallorca I set beside her bed. Her bread is cold now. I watched her take her medication with coffee, and she lies in the bed praying the rosary with her eyes closed. Typical Tuesday morning. I was the one who got the boys breakfast and sent them off to school. When the boys were gone, I took the sheets off the beds for washing. Carlos's sheets smelled sweet. They were damp with piss. I cursed quietly under my breath, gathered up the sheets, and headed out into the hall, where I almost bumped into Fanny. Excusez-moi, pardonnez-moi. She almost smiled at me. Fanny asked me to put some cognac in her coffee cup. I took the dirty sheets in one hand so I could take her cup in the other, walked down to the laundry room, and then back up to the kitchen bar. I poured her some from the watered-down bottle I keep for her morning use, and I took it back upstairs. Fanny was still in the hallway. She took a sip, and I think she knew it was watered down, but she didn't mention it. "Él es un niño nervioso," she told me. Fanny stares out the hall window now and sips from her coffee cup. Sometimes she does this for hours. She looks out over the back garden. She looks out over the ocean. Mama Fanny's gaze looks all the way to Germany. It's so sad, Lord. Now is the time I go eat breakfast. I took the sweet plantains out of the oven. The Puerto Ricans like their plantains better green. They have me slice them green, smash them and fry them, rub them down with garlic and clove and hit them with salt. I like tostones, but I like my plantains better. Sweet and soft and duros. I eat them with farina. I take my time, thinking about the problems in the house. The northwest corner of the foundation is crumbling. Mama Fanny is drinking earlier and earlier each day. We haven't had a letter from the Colonel in weeks. All the problems of this family are not mine. All the problems of this family I can't fix. But there's one problem I can fix. Carlos is a sweet boy, but this has got to stop. He's 6 years old. But he's smaller than baby Gia because he had tapeworms for years. They were crawling out his little butt, but he was too embarrassed to tell anyone about it. It made him into a nervous child. His sheets smell sweet like piss now, 2 or 3 times a week. Out in the street, Ronnie's walking with his chicken cart. Ronnie's chicken cart is special. He sells dyed chickens, red and purple and green. He sells normal chickens too, and black chickens, but the bright color ones are so popular. Ronnie holds the eggs over a candle flame, and when the baby chick's about to hatch, he cracks a tiny spot of the egg with a needle and shoots vegetable dye in there. Harmless. It dyes them to their first 2 molts. All the kids in the neighborhood keep them as pets. Carlos has a purple chicken we bought him last month. I ask Ronnie if he has some time this afternoon. Ronnie nods. I knew he would. I tell him to bring his drum. I tell him he can stay for dinner. Mama Fanny won't mind. Her medication make her too sick to come to the table anyway. Ronnie smiles at me and he keeps pushing his cart down the street. I wait in the backyard for the boys to come home after school. Jose comes back first, then Gia. I send them inside to wash up and do their papers. Carlos is late. He's playing stickball with the boys. I kill a chicken for dinner and I'm pulling off all the feathers. Ronnie comes by with his drum, and I tell him what we gwan do. Carlos is walking down the street now, singing to himself and swinging a stick. "Carlo," I called to him. "Como ye?" He answers me in Spanish. Carlos is carrying a dirty baseball from practice. I tell him to put it down when he gets inside the fence. He nods his head, looking through the tall grass for the sound of the drum. Ronnie is letting out a queer moan as he drums. He's really going for it. I fight to keep my face mean. I lay my hands down on his little shoulders. Carlos, you pissed the bed again. Coño, today we make this stop. I hold his hand and I lead him to the fire. Me and Ronnie, we built up the fire. We built the fire big with branches and chicken bone. We built the fire smoky with bloodroot and high john. Carlos, you will piss out the fire. You will pee and pee and pee out the fire. And Carlos held his pee-pee in his hand and strained, looking up at Ronnie and my mask in fear. Fear in his little face. When he started to pee, he started to cry. Because that was when he saw the purple feathers floating around the ember of the fire. Burnt feathers have a strong smell. So does pee when it hit the coals. Now, I know how to make chicken fricassee. I know how to sweat the onions and peppers into sweet sofrito, to render the pork fat and sprinkle in the caper at just the right time so they aren't too briny nor too bland. Sika make chicken fricassee into Carlos's favorite food. But tonight, Sika make Carlos' favorite chicken into Carlos' favorite food. And he never went to bed again. And that's why I pray to their saints, but I pray to my saints too. And that's why voodoo is real.